Now we can do an element of formatting with our pivot charts. Taking the employees pivot chart file and the P chart sheet, we can see this is a straightforward column chart and we get blue columns. Perhaps we don't want blue columns. Now on the actual chart itself, there are two little boxes to the top right here that are extremely useful to us. Let's use the little paintbrush one first. This controls the style of the chart. And you can see we have wide bars, narrow ones, sort of stacky type ones where there's a little separate box for each amount. Then you've got some trendy drop shadow ones, some gradient fills, some sort of dotty background ones, inverted colors, white boxes with blue bars horizontal lines, quite a psychedelic one, diagonal line fill, slightly different bluey, and then another gradient fill but with a bevel. There's quite a lot of choice to choose from in the style there. If I wanted a different style, let's go for the inverted color. Now that's still blue all the way through these style choices. They are still blue as the predominant color. So we can go to color from within this little pencil box and actually choose a different set of colors. I need to move down past the first two, and then I get red as my primary color. Obviously here the secondary and the third, fourth, fifth, sixth colors are not in use because of the data set. Or we can go monochromatic, which means there's a primary color and then the others are a slightly different tint. And there's quite a few choices of those. And there's even an option at the bottom that says, how do I change these colors? And you can do it through the themes, which we have seen previously before we even did pivot tables. I'm going to go with this orangey colorful option. So this is a built-in theme and I've chosen it. And if I end up with second and third bars, they will go to the blue, to the purple, to the dark orange color. So I can control the style and I can control the color. Obviously the style there has all changed now to the predominant orange color, which works quite well. To then close this style and color box, I simply click back on the brush. So one click to open the two boxes, one click to remove. Now above there is a plus. Now when you click plus, this shows you the available chart elements and those chart elements that you're using. So we're using the axes, which is the bottom and the vertical line, but there are no axes titles. See there that it just says axes title. So if I click that, we get a title on the left. Chart title, I can remove that and you see the word total disappears from the top. Data labels, you can see the values that then appear at the top of each column. Data table, that puts the values underneath. Error bars, grid lines, remove those and I have no grid lines across the back. Legend removes the little key on the right. Now in this case, I don't actually need that legend because all it says is total. As soon as we start adding the second and the third column from the data though, we will need the legend. And then I even have the ability to add a trend line that we've seen when we've done normal charts. So each of these options as you hover will produce them, but it's the click in the box that makes them stay when you then close the chart element. Now you can access the same things, the chart elements and the styles and colors, by going to Pivot Chart Tools, and then Design. And you can see here all the chart styles are there and they pop out. They're the same chart styles we had from the dialog box that was popping out here. And the choice of colors is also the same as was popping out. Now we also have a quick layout option, which actually affects the whole chart by turning on or off various elements that Microsoft feel would work together. So we have layout 1, 2, 3, and you can just move through and see if any of those work for you. You can see there they've inserted the data table. 6, 7 has titles, grid lines, but no chart title. 8 has fat columns. 9 has thin columns. 10 has the values just inside each of the columns. And then 11 brings back a few of the grid lines. So let's go back to that fat one. I quite like that one. Layout 8. So they're quick layout options if you think, oh, I'm going to choose one of those, and it will put in the various elements that you can then go and turn off if required. So I could take off the axes titles. Even though the quick layout chose them, I can now turn them off, and all the other elements of that quick layout remain. So the fat columns and the color. So you have quite a lot of control over formatting your pivot chart. If we were to add another field in here, let's put the marital status in to there. You can see then that the secondary and tertiary colors are applied, so that when I then change the colors, they affect the whole chart. Now that does not appear to be happening, although the preview changes at the top here, and it's usually due to the style that's chosen. So let's choose a basic style like that, and then change the colors, and you can see that then they respond. For some reason, with the more complicated inverted charts, the response to the color is not immediate, so at that point it's safer to go back to a plainish chart and then come back to a solid color one, should you see fit. So you're in charge of the formatting, turning on or off various elements as you require them, changing the style of the bars, of the colors, and then various built-in quick layout options that are extremely useful when you're trying to quickly format a chart.